Not all drivers can stay for the entire Royal Rumble, as Matt Dool takes the helicopter away from the racetrack, but for those who are staying, this is the third part of the Utica Track Series Royal Rumble here at the Snowstorm Speedway. And next on track is Chris Kyle, car number 1. No, not the Marine Sniper, who unfortunately passed away earlier this year. This is a different driver, well, a different person than him. Car number 1, Chris Kyle, for a single car team, NR 2003 Racing. They're driving the GameStop car, and I think GameStop really wanted to have their sponsorship in this series, so they sponsor a good number of race cars, from the RGE bunch to Allen Motorsports to NR 2003 Racing. But Chris Kyle making his first start, and he's driving the number 1 car, which I don't believe we've had in this series before. We've had the 1X of Willie Decker, but we have not had just a plain old number 1 car, and maybe he'll be number 1 today when we cross the finish line at the end of this. But he's got a long way to go. We still have half of the field still ready to go out there and race. He's running a little bit behind Jake Smith. Now, I don't know too much about this particular driver's racing career. I don't see him in many series, at least not many of the top ones. But Chris Kyle trying to make a breakthrough here in the Utica Home Track Series. So best of luck for him this season. He's going to have to race his way into Bristol, however. He did not accrue any points last season. Jeffrey Finguy from the last segment is still out in front. And that number 62 YouTube Chevy for the JFI crew. Neon Cat on the side of that car, and I love that. I love how Neon Cat's there. I think it's probably giving him a slight speed boost. But not enough, as Jake Smith is closing on the back bumper and almost sends the 62 car into the snow. Now for those who need a reminder, if you go completely off the racing surface, you are out of this race. Though a lot of cars are pretty close to that barrier, as Jeffrey Finguy just barely keeps on course. Now Jeffrey, and also, this is in a standard Royal Rumble elimination style. If a car gets eliminated, they are out of this event for good, but they are still allowed to eliminate all the others in these 5 laps. The winner of this Royal Rumble will get 5 bonus points added to the championship standings. Excuse me. There is Jake Smith, car number 87, one of our newcomers this year, along with Chris Kyle. The 87 car has been running well, and this is a really snazzy looking race car in my opinion, as we work our way into our final lap for this round. Jake Smith, another one of those cars that has to race their way in for Bristol to make the final event. And also, Bristol's going to be a more difficult event to make it into, because that track can only fit 41 cars, not the standard 42. So one driver is going to be sent home that might have made it if it were another racing week. But to see, we're not sure what the Utica Home Track Series guys are going to do about that, if they're going to award that car that failed to qualify 1 bonus point or not. But as we head across the line, all 3 of these drivers going to stay in nice and safe as we meet the next driver. There is Kevin Ulrich, car number 61, the Sony Pepsi machine. And that's another sponsor I want to mention. Sony and Pepsi have been on all the different cars this year in various incarnations. Sony sponsors William Duncan and the RGE team. And Pepsi's been on Megan Curley's car, Dylan Ogo, Kevin Ulrich. So a lot of sponsors really want to have sponsorship in this series. But Kevin Ulrich making a great pass underneath Jake Smith and Chris Kyle. He's working his way on Jeffrey Finguy. Now Kevin Ulrich is another new driver that I've not really heard too much about. I don't know any series he's in offhand. But Ulrich in that number 61 Chevy. It's a very nice looking car. It's kind of a black, blue, and red camouflage type deal as he works his way under Jeffrey Finguy, and that car is fast. Finguy has been the fastest car for the past couple of rounds, but Kevin Ulrich already sneaking his way to the front as Chris Kyle starts to drop back from the main pack. And whoa! Jake Smith almost turns the 61 car around and sends himself off track, but they're going to save it. It's a very dodgy racetrack, and it is cold outside. So there's a lot of things impacting the drivers here. This track is slick. The temperatures are just above freezing. We picked the worst time of the year to come to this racetrack. As we take a look at Chris Kyle in 3rd place now, as Jake Smith is going to drop back. Chris Kyle, he's been in very short tracks, but I don't think he's ever been to a track like this, all the way up in Nome, Alaska. It was pretty expensive for a lot of teams to get out here on track today, so hopefully it's not for loss. as Chris Kyle trying to catch up to that main pack. He's still dropping a little bit back, and Jake Smith, he seems to have lost all his momentum. He's dropped back even further. Chris Kyle closing in on the battle up front here with Kevin Ulrich and Jeffrey Finguy. They're running double wide, and this is very great racing on the track right now. No eliminations in this particular section of the Royal Rumble. The last one came at round 28. We currently sit in round 30. But Ulrich is going to clear Finguy as they head down that back straightaway, and we go for one more lap as Finguy is so close, almost ran himself off the racing surface. We go to turn one more time before we get to the next round. As Chris Kyle is caught up to this main pack, these two drivers were racing each other pretty hard as Chris Kyle slowly sneaking up behind the 62 car of Jeffrey Finguy. Chris Kyle looking to make a good show out there today. He's not a single car team. He's hoping to attract more funds to keep that car running at top pace. Kevin Ulrich is going to stay ahead of Jeffrey Finguy. I don't think any elimination is going to happen right now as they head down toward the back stretch. And that ends our round. Let's meet our next driver. We mentioned him earlier, Willie Decker, car number 1X. He is the only driver in this race that is not driving a new model car. During the postseason, we've updated the model cars from the 2000 models as, Willie Decker and Chris Kyle go off the racetrack and they are out of this. And it's a shame. Willie Decker just got on track. Chris Kyle got on track a couple of rounds ago, and I think Willie Decker is the quickest elimination of the day. He did not even make it through to the turn before going out. Anyway, as I was saying, the 1X is the only 2000 model racing on the track right now. This team's a little underfunded. Did not have enough to buy the 2011 model. They're hoping to work up enough funds to get that, because they don't feel that number 1X is strong enough. But it's already not going to matter now. He is out of this race early, and it's a shame. It's a big hit to the wallet. The driver to get up here today. It's going to be a shame for both the 1 and the 1X. Willie Decker is expanding his schedule, though. Last year he only ran American tracks. This year he's going to run them all. So we'll have to see how well that number 1X can do on some of the foreign tracks and the road courses. His best career finish did come out of road course at Laguna Seca. It was second. Kevin Ulrich pulling our lead ahead of the 62 of Jeffrey Finguy. And this leads me to believe that Kevin Ulrich could be a factor in the 2013 season, as Ulrich has already have a great car despite being a single car team. So he's coming in here with some good equipment and he's ready to race. The 61 car was formerly driven by Josh LeMayo for the Crowds Motorsports team, but that team has folded and Josh LeMayo has went over to Gas Tech Engineering Incorporated for a limited schedule this year, running races 1, 2, and 3. But maybe Ulrich can put that 61 car back in victory lane. It's won before at Sonoma in 2011, but has yet to win since. As we head down the final straightaway, we got one more lap in this segment. As we go back to Jeffrey Finguy, who's trying to catch up to the 61 car to try and eliminate him. Though at the current moment, he's kind of safe from elimination now. He's way ahead of Chris Kyle. Jake Smith has fallen pretty far behind. And Willie Decker is even further behind. So they're not going to be able to catch up to him. It's going to be a battle between Ulrich and Finguy. As Finguy closes in on the back bumper of the 61 car, they go into that final turn where you're going back to Chris Kyle, who is just ahead of Jake Smith. I don't know why they're doing that, because the battle's up front. They seem to have made it to the line all right. Cameron been making odd decisions. Let's go to the next round. Kyle and Decker out. Brian Broke, car number 68. The first Toyota of the race has come out, and the Toyotas are a new car for this series. We have not had a Toyota yet. They've pretty much replaced the Pontiacs like they've done in NASCAR. But the Pontiacs are still legal in this series, as there's a battle, and Bro and Smith go off the racetrack. And another quick elimination. Brian Brote's not going to get too much as they head to the top, and oh! Both Smith and Brote are going to barrel roll those cars. But at least they land on their wheels. They are unfortunately out of this event, and now it's down to 2 cars on the track. That is Kevin Ulrich and Jeffrey Finguy, who've been putting on quite a show for the past couple rounds, battling back and forth. Sometimes they've been dropping back, sometimes they've been moving forward, but this round, Ulrich has not been as quick as he was in the last round. It could be that Finguy might be running a little quicker. I'm not sure if they made any adjustments, Finguy, under the caution. They are allowed to make adjustments between rounds to either repair damage or try and make some wedge or tweaking adjustments. But Ulrich starting to lose the 62 car of Jeffrey Finguy, which isn't a bad thing because that means he's going to be in the next round, just so long as he doesn't get turned by anyone else. Ulrich, car number 61. Riding around the track as Finguy, Jeffrey Finguy, car number 62 in the YouTube Chevy, is currently pulling out a pretty decent lead right now. 62 car is a past Utica Home Track Series winner. He won at Ruin Lakes Asserts last year in a surprise victory. He was already surprised when he got the pole for that race. We weren't expecting him to do so well at the road courses, especially when he hasn't raced on before. He loses the lead during the race, and then he pulls back to win it with a swift pass in the dirt, which is credit to former dirt racing by Finguy in the past. Finguy is also a driver in the Utica Rallycross Series, though only part-time, having a career best of 2nd place. So Finguy knows his way around dirt and road racing, so he could be a big threat for next season. Car number 62, looking for that 2nd win. As we head to our final lap, Ulrich has closed in slightly, but not enough to really affect the number 62 of Jeffrey Finguy. You see Jake Smith is on the apron down there. He's coming back onto the racing surface, see if he can try and eliminate someone, but I don't think they will. Brian Brote is on track. A little bit behind there. Smith, he pulled up. As you can see Brian Brote there. Will that lap traffic affect Finguy and Ulrich? I don't think they'll catch him in time as they head to on their final lap. Maybe he would have played a factor if they had another lap, but no. Brote and Smith are out as we move on to the next round and meet our new driver. Andrew Robinson, car number 43, the Petty STP Chevy. Though usually the Petty was known for Plymouths and Dodges. Oh wait, no, he wasn't really known for Dodges. Scratch that. Currently the Petty Enterprise team is a Chevy, but this is the Robinson Motorsports team with Andrew Robinson. Zachary Robinson went out earlier, that's his brother, as the 43 car tried to turn around Finguy. It's not going to work. But Zachary Robinson had a great run earlier in the event in that number 5 machine. Andrew Robinson hoping to duplicate that in number 43. But at the current moment, he's starting to drop back. The 61 and the 62 are starting to pull away. Now the Robinsons are both new to the sport for me. I have not seen them in any other series before. But I'm assuming they do have racing experience. They're on track right now, and they're hoping to do well this year. Both of the Robinson racing cars are not locked in. Despite the fact the 5 car did run last year. We don't go by owner points, however. And this 43 car has got it's modeled after the Richard Petty machine, though it looks a little different. Have to have a little bit of that creativeness in there. The 5 car also kind of looks like the Johnson or Kane Busch car. As we look up near the front of the pack, Finguy and Ulrich is going to be the battle for this event as Robinson drops back. Now, I think these guys are going to play it kind of smooth for this round because they know how easily someone can get eliminated here. So I think Finguy, well, either Finguy's going to hold back or he's going to try and go up there and try and turn Ulrich around, which I don't think would be a good idea. I think it would be better just to kind of cruise for this round and see if you can bring up your game for the future rounds when you have more drivers to compete against. Though you could also go with the opposite strategy of trying to keep the numbers low consistently so that you have less of a chance of going out. There's so many different strategies you can have here on track, it's kind of hard to say what people are going to do, but I think at the current moment, Ulrich is trying to go for the strategy of pull ahead and make sure Finguy doesn't catch you. Finguy, he's playing it safe, but if he's near Ulrich, he will try and eliminate him. We're going to have 1 lap to go. Robinson, either he's having a problem or he's just holding back. Excuse me. The 43 car is heavily off the pace compared to the 61 and 62. We'll have to check that under the break between the 2 rounds. As Finguy and Ulrich work their way into the final stretch. There's the turn. And, well, technically not the final stretch yet. Now they're at the final stretch. They work their way out. Finguy is closing in on the 61 car. Will he try anything at the line, or will he just accept him making it to the next round? Pull to the back bumper. Is going to let them survive for the next round. Let's add 1 more driver to the fray. There is Julian Kenneblez Jr., car number 45, the teammate car to Jeffrey Finguy, though there aren't teammates out here in the Royal Rumble. Everyone's going for the win. As you can see, Finguy clipping his teammate, Julian Kenneblez Jr. Now Kenneblez has been... Whoa! 2 eliminations, Finguy and Ulrich. The 2 favorites at the moment to make it to the end are going to get eliminated in one fell swoop after Ulrich made contact with the 43 car of Andrew Robinson. Robinson came down and hit into Finguy, and it looks like Andrew Robinson is currently still in the event. So the attempt to eliminate Robinson ended up eliminating Ulrich and Finguy, and not the 43 car. So great job by Andrew Robinson to keep in this race. But I think the 61 car and the 62 are awfully close to the 43 car. They may want a little retaliation, seeing that their attempt to eliminate him didn't work the first time. Here we go. Will it happen? The 43 car is kind of a sitting duck here. Ulrich pulls him low, and they're going to work together, and they're going to turn him off track and wreck him. Andrew Robinson is out. Oh, it's a shame. Robinson, he makes it through the first impact, and then they decide, we're going to eliminate him anyways, as the 43 car is done for today. Anyway, back to Julian Kenneblez Jr. He's so far the only car driving on track that's going to survive this round, unless Ulrich can catch up to him and turn him around. So I'm not sure if he can do it. Ulrich has been fast, however. Anyway, Julian Kenneblez Jr., one of the JFI cars. He ran last year as an RGE development driver in the 45 Ford with not very good success. He's one of the few drivers to run last year that is not locked in to the Bristol race. The cutoff point was at Joseph Bryant, and he's 1 car away from that. So Julian Kenneblez Jr. is going to have to race his way into Bristol, despite racing in events last year. But the 45 car is the Bud Light machine, so I'm not sure if people are going to be looking forward to a cool Bud Light up here in this cold weather, though I think alcohol does warm. I forget if someone could relay that information to me. I believe that's the case. Though I think people are looking more for the hot chocolate car, which I don't think we have any. But Julian Kenneblez Jr. very excited for the for this current season as they work their way into the final lap. Kevin Ulrich is closing on the back bumper of the 45. Will Ulrich be able to turn the 45 around? He makes an attempt at the back, but no, it's not going to work, and Ulrich is going to lose ground. But here he comes. He's starting to build up speed. Kenneblez has got to outrun him at the line. Can he do it? It looks like he might, unless back bumper, Ulrich is going to fail. And Kenneblez Jr. is going to make it to the next round. Let's add another driver to the mix as we'll battle against Kenneblez. There is Adam Dunlap, car number 67. This driver has bounced between all sorts of rides throughout his career. He first started off in the number 64 car for Benoit Motorsports, was released halfway through the year due to poor performances. He came back in 2012 for Murphy Motorsports in a 1-race stint in the O2 car. Was brought back later in the year as a Benoit Motorsports car again, and then released at the end of the year for poor performance a second time. So now, Adam Dunlap has formed his own team with Brian Brote in the 68, called Brote Dunlap Motorsports. They're both driving Toyotas, and this is the second Toyota out of 4 that's on track for today. Now, Dunlap and Brote are running a limited schedule. They're only running the first couple events and maybe some select ones later on in the year. So they're trying to build up the funds to see if they can run the full schedule. So Dunlap is going to have to do well here today. This is the Video Games Awesome machine, a Vancouver-based video game live show. which Dunlap is a fan of. They are hoping that they can get this car into Victory Lane here at the Royal Rumble and maybe into Victory Lane for a future event. See if they can attract more sponsorship from VGA, Video Games Awesome. He is currently starting to fall behind Julian Kenneblez Jr., however. This car is not as technologically superior to the 45 machine. But Adam Dunlap, trying his best to get a good run this year, he will be locked in to the Bristol event, which he is going to, so we'll have to see how he does there. He has to finish well to make sure he's locked in for the Megville Bull Run. There is Julian Kenneblez Jr., car number 45, still in the race lead. Though leading won't necessarily get you anything, it's kind of good to stay ahead of all these drivers, as this track does not require drafting to stay ahead like the Talladega Royal Rumbles I've seen in the past. So Kenneblez going with the strategy of just out-racing everyone else. Dunlap, either he's trying to pull back or he's actually being beaten by Kenneblez due to an insuperior car. We go one more lap before we add another driver. It's Julian Kenneblez having a great ride so far. He is on the radio saying he's really liking this car, and he hopes that this car can run well throughout the rest of the year, which I mentioned earlier he was very excited for. However, we are not going to his home track in Mexico this year, as that track was way too costly for the teams. We are going to the Megville Bull Run instead, but maybe he can do well there as we headed to the finish line. Car number 45 and the 67 make it through. Let's see who joins them in the next round. Nicholas Guerra, his brother Jerry, went up earlier in the event in the number 78 car, but did not have much success. Nicholas going to have to try and avenge the family team of Blue Motorsports at number 6 car. And I find it funny, Blue Motorsports actually has 2 green cars. And for the second half of the year, the first half of the year, it's going to be the DuPont machine, which has all the colors. But this car, the Sprite machine, is not going to be running next week. It's going to be the DuPont machine, which is in honor of Jeff Gordon, who's going to have DuPont sponsorship for only half a season this year before it changes over to a new sponsor. And Wolf, excellent racing as Adam Dunlap. Oh, I'm sure that was out, but the sensors did not go off. We'll have to see. We'll have to get a word from the officials whether or not he went off the racing service, but that was really dodgy racing and a good effort by Guerra to try and eliminate a driver, but it did not work. Anyway, Guerra, car number 6. He's going to be running the full schedule with brother Jerry, but the DuPont car is going to be running the first half of the year. We won't see the Sprite car again until race 11. But the Fords have a slightly lower presence in this sport. The 2 popular rides seem to be the Chevys and the Dodges, but the Fords are the defending champions, with Murphy winning the championship with the LeGray Racing team. So the 6 car is hoping that the Fords can do well for him. Julian Kenneblez Jr., car number 45, still having a great run, pulling ahead of everyone else. Now I'm not sure if it's just because the JFI cars are good, or the Blue Motorsports and Bro Dunlap cars are just not running as well, or it could be just Kenneblez's racing itself. But Kenneblez having a great run today and really impressing the sponsors who are out there watching him from probably afar. I don't think anyone would really want to spectate this event. It's awfully cold, there's no grandstands, and there's snow everywhere. The sponsors, they are watching and they are liking what they're seeing from Kenneblez. They're hoping he can repeat this throughout the rest of the year, as Dunlap is starting to catch up to Guerra a little bit, but it doesn't seem to be too significant. These drivers are probably going to run pretty sound for the rest of this particular round as we head to the end of it. We go through the final turns, and I don't think Guerra or Dunlap is going to be able to catch up to the 45 machine. He is just too good. As we head down the the front stretch, my apologies. And we end this round as we add one more driver to the event. Nikki Allen, car number 08X, is going to join the field, and with this edition, we have a battle of the brands. We have a Ford, a Dodge, a Chevy, and a Toyota driving on track right now, which is all 4 of the makes that are currently in the sport. So this could be one of those days to see which manufacturer is going to be the best on track. Nikki Allen's driving the Dodge on the inside. Now this car is not running the full schedule. It's unsponsored and it's only going to run this race, the first 3 events, and then the final, I want to say 5 events, though I'm not exactly sure. I don't have that stat in front of me. As Nicholas Guerra almost turns the 08X around. Now Nikki Allen, as she makes some dodgy moves there, has made 1 Utica Home Track Series start. She made the event in Myrtle Beach, though did not have a great finish. Had a lot of issues throughout the day, had a lot of wrecks. And is hoping that this year, in the 08 car, or the 08X, she can perform well as we make it 3 wide. Dunlap close again, and the officials still not calling them out yet. The scoring things did not go up underneath the Dunlap machine. As we run 3 wide again, this is a great battle up near the front. Nikki Allen and Julian Kenneblez Jr. racing closely. Kenneblez has not been as fast this round, as Dunlap, who is leading there, is going to get shuffled back behind the 6 car of Nicholas Guerra as they battle it out. Now Allen looks underneath the 45 machine as the 45 goes high. Now this 08X is unsponsored. They're hoping to attract some sponsorship. Maybe this kind of racing will do it. She's trying to prove that she's a good enough driver that sponsors should go on to this race car for the limited amount of races she has. Maybe even if she does well enough, she could run more events. This is kind of a development driver for the Allen Motorsports team, and she is the sister of both Alex and Andreas Allen. Alex Allen has yet to come up on track yet. As a great battle near the front, side by side between Kenneblez and Allen. This is not for the win, but this is to try and psych people out and eliminate them. Nicholas Guerra and Adam Dunlap are catching up now, as Allen is going to lose the 48 car of Kenneblez. Now she's going to have to deal with Nicholas Guerra and Adam Dunlap in the 67 car. She's starting to drop like a rock to the field. Kenneblez is going to be safe, as this is the final lap of this round. And Allen's going to sink all the way to last place, but at least she's currently still in. Nicholas Guerra battling with Adam Dunlap, but Nikki Allen is going to send Adam Dunlap up the racetrack. We might have 3 wide. As we go down the line, oh no! It goes off for Guerra. It looks like he just barely went over it, and unfortunately at the end there, Nicholas Guerra is out. Oh, what a shame for the number 6 machine, who was having a great run this round. He will not be able to continue, and it looks like neither of the Guerras will win today. Let's meet our next driver. Speaking of the Allens, Alex Allen's going to go on track now in the number 09 Dr. Pepper Dodge. Now the 09 car ran a couple races near the end of last season with Vladimir Petrov and Nikki Allen running the final race in that car. Vladimir Petrov will be driving this 09 car for the road courses. Alex Allen's got this car for the speedways, so we'll have to see how well Alex Allen can do despite having a limited schedule. Alex Allen was the 80 car last year with Czechs on board, but the finishes were not well enough to warrant a full-time ride. They decided to split this car between Petrov and Alex Allen, but at the current moment he's running very well. He's close to the 45 of Julian Kenneblez Jr. The 09 car closing in. Now the Allen Motorsports team has 3 drivers, which is the max you can possibly have on a team. And Andreas Allen in the Walking Dead machine has already gone out of the event, so now it's up to Alex and Nikki to survive it all the way to the end. And though we're in the second half, there's still quite a while to go before we hit that final round, which will most likely be round 54 unless we eliminate everyone on the grid. In that case, it will be round 52. But here we go, Alex Allen closing in on the back of Julian Kenneblez Jr. Allen and Dunlap, well, Nikki Allen and Adam Dunlap are starting to fall back. But it looked like they caught up a little bit there, but it looks like they're going to lose it. They tried to cut the turn and catch up, but it didn't work. Kenneth Blaise has got a rear view mirror full of Alex Allen as almost a crossover move with an elimination as Alex Allen makes a pass underneath the 45 machine. I'm not sure if Alex Allen's trying to eliminate or just get ahead of the 45 car. But at the current moment, a great battle between the Chevy and the Dodge. As Alex Allen works his way underneath, Kenneth Blaise is going to be shuffled to the outside of the racetrack. This might be the car that could be Julian Kenneth Blaise Jr.'s match, but Kenneth Blaise catches up, almost goes off course as they battle it out on the backstretch. The front stretch. I keep getting that mixed up. Here we go, final lap. Car number 45. Might try to eliminate the 09 car or might just take it a little easy, make sure they can make it to the next round as Allen and Dunlap run too wide, a little further back. They've lost these two cars but are still battling it out for their respective places as Julian Kenneth Blaise Jr. works his way underneath of Alex Allen. Now he wants to try and eliminate Allen without eliminating himself, so that's why a lot of these drivers have been pretty timid. Not going to get it done. But all four cars are going to make it through this round, and we'll add one more driver. We'll have 5 cars for the next round. Now we have the 2012 Rookie of the Year, Michael Aurelio, car number 93, who had a great season last year despite starting later on in the year, race 8. Michael Aurelio has won an event at Monza, which was pretty astounding. He managed to survive all the carnage that was at Monza and pulled out in front, has won numerous Rookie of the Race awards, and was the Rookie of the Year winner over Trek Togger in the 60. And now the 93 car of Michael Aurelio is going to run all but 2 races this year, which a lot of people were shocked. They thought that Michael Aurelio was going to go for a full schedule. But for the super speedways, Jonathan Benton is going to be in that car, which is 2 events. Those are Daytona and Sierra. So here goes the 93. Working his way up through the field, already made it by the Allens, and now going under Dunlap in the 67 car. This car is truly astounding. The 93 machine has done so well in the past, and it's doing well right now. Michael Aurelio is quite the driver. And unfortunately for brother Chris, Michael Aurelio has kind of outshone him. Michael Aurelio is also a winner in the Rallycross series, winning a race in, I want to say, Italy. Yeah, so, you know what? Italy seems to be very good for Michael Aurelio. He won the Monza race in Italy, and he won at a coastal track in Italy for the Rallycross series. So, Michael Aurelio knows his way around the Italian circuits as he works his way around Adam Dunlap and is trying to catch up to the 45 of Julian Kenneth Blaise Jr. I don't think Michael Aurelio is as much into the eliminations as he is just trying to show off how well the car runs, as he could have easily have tried to eliminate Alex Allen, Adam Dunlap, or Nicky Allen. I think he's just trying to go for speed trials here. Now this track is a super speedway, but they did not put Jonathan Benton in the car as he is not their primary driver. Adam Dunlap, car number 67, ran a little further behind. This car is running slightly better than it has been in previous rounds, but not fast enough to catch Kenneth Blaise or Aurelio. He's been battling it out with Alex Allen back here, as he's the only Toyota in the field at the moment. There are 2 more Toyotas yet to come up. Those are Dylan White and Prudence Littlejohn. They will be coming up much later in the event. As we work our way on our final lap, Alex Allen trying to catch up to 67. This is one of the best battles on track as Nicky Allen is falling behind and Aurelio and Kenneth Blaise are separated. However, it doesn't look like there's going to be any elimination here as they work their way to the end of the round. We get ready to add one more driver to the field for 6 cars on track. Now there is the unsponsored number 07 of David Yankee for Yankee Motorsports. Kind of ironic that this car has been sponsored for 2 years and his sister has not been. His sister gets a sponsor for 2013 and David Yankee loses his. As you see by the front, it says sponsor here. He's looking for sponsorship this year. He's trying to take it from anyone as he makes contact with Alex Allen, and Alex Allen goes sliding off the racing surface, and Alex Allen is out. Oh, what a shame for the young driver. who was hoping to have a good run today. It looks like it's going to be up to Nicky Allen to get the win for Allen Motorsports, as Alex Allen works his way down the embankment and back onto the racetrack. He is done for today. He's going to keep going around the racing surface. As we were saying, David Yankee, unsponsored, trying to accept sponsors from anywhere. It could be a product, could be a YouTube channel, could be anything. He's trying to secure it, like for one race deals, see if he can try and bring up the sponsorship. Doing a similar thing to Scott Speed and his Seize the Sponsor program. So Dave Yankee taking sponsorship suggestions from anyone. As he works his way around the track, and it already looks pretty impressive that he eliminated one driver already, Alex Allen. And now Nicky Allen's running underneath. She might get revenge if she can catch up and have a good hit at the 07 car. But at the current moment, the 07 car is falling behind Dunlap and the rest. I also will mention that Yankee will be running the full schedule. Now here's the battle on track. Kenneblez and Aurelio. Now Aurelio was unable to catch up to Kenneblez last round because he started a little too far back, was held up. Now they start right next to each other and they're ready to battle. Now Kenneblez and Aurelio really have not had too much on-track racing action, as one, Kenneblez started very late in the season, and two, Michael Aurelio usually was not running on the same section of the racetrack as Kenneblez. Usually Aurelio was near the front, Kenneblez was near the back. But now they're racing head-to-head as Kenneblez almost goes off the racetrack. Aurelio should have capitalized but was not quick enough with the reflexes. He's going to pass for the lead. And again, I think Michael Aurelio is just going out here just to show how fast he is. He passes Kenneblez, who's been the fastest car all day. With Michael Aurelio, 3 Musketeers have stayed on board for them. They were very happy with how the sponsorship turned out. Now, 3 Musketeers was really only going to stay on for one race as a Halloween type sponsorship, but they decided to stay on the car. They really liked how their driver was doing. As we come to the end of this round, down the stretch, Kenneblez not going to eliminate Aurelio as we add yet another driver to this round. This is going to put 7 cars on the track. Dom Caps, the last of the Caps kin, is going to be on racetrack now. Car number 24, which mimics the Jeff Gordon machine from NASCAR. Another one of those drivers running a DuPont sponsorship, as DuPont's going away halfway through the 2013 year. And, pardon me, I was wrong. It was not a 7-car field, it was a 6. Excuse my math error. As Dom Caps, car number 24, making his first career start in the Utica Track Series, he will have to race his way in if he wants to make it in for Bristol. Same with the other Caps brothers. Now, brother Dustin Caps went up earlier in the day and had a great run. Dom Caps is trying to match it, but brother Nick Caps did not stay on track for long, only 2 rounds before he got eliminated. Dom Caps, this car was an old Dylan White machine from last year. Dylan White switched over to Toyota in the number 11 Monster Energy car. As Nicky Allen, a close call, almost going off the racetrack. Here we go, Dom Caps running to the outside of David Yankee, trying to prove that the Caps brothers could be championship predators, as he runs behind Adam Dunlap, going into his, I believe, 3rd lap of the race. Now, Caps is getting a good look at the back bumper of the 67 car, which has 3 hosts of the Video Games Awesome show on there in front of a green screen. Kind of a humorous back of the 67 car. As Dom Caps is really working his way through the field. He started off kind of sluggish on the start, but this car is really starting to pick up through this event as it's passed 3 of the 5 other drivers on track. Well, not quite 3 yet. He's still battling with Adam Dunlap as they battle on the back stretch of the racetrack. Actually, the back stretch. I didn't get it wrong this time. As they make it into the turn and head toward the front stretch. This 24 car is running very well right now, and it could be a factor. But the 2 cars that are the favorites on track right now, Kenneblez Jr. and Michael Aurelio, and that was a close call for Kenneblez, as I say it. we head toward our last lap of the race. Well, not the whole race, but for this particular round. Michael Aurelio and Julian Kenneblaise Jr. battling heavy, 2 wide throughout the racetrack. Neck to neck, toe to toe. So here we go. Kenneblaise slides up the racetrack and is going to give way to Michael Aurelio. But not yet. He starts to pull back with some momentum. They battle out to the line, and it looks like both of them might be able to keep it if nothing goes wrong, and they will. And the rest of the cars come across the line as scheduled. We're going to have 7 cars this time. Brock McMahon makes it 7 cars, which is the most we've had on track at one time. So this could be pretty squirrely. Now, Brock McMahon driving the Alex Tanker car from last year. Now, Tanker Motorsports was a last-minute addition to the 2013 season. We weren't sure if they were coming back, but they are. But Brock McMahon's making a number change. He's not going to be in that number 94. He's going to be in the 44 this time, which was Alex Tanker's ride. Alex Tanker's going to switch over to the number 34. So that way the numbers are a little closer together. The Bakersfield Condors, the ECHL, are on board for that 44 machine, and the 44 is hoping to strike like the Condor that actually did strike at that one particular Condors game. It got a little bit of news coverage. I'm not sure if anyone knows about that. But the 44 machine of Brock McMahon, last year it was kind of a quiet year for McMahon. The only real impact he made was at Myrtle Beach with a top 10 finish. Other than that, that 44 car has been pretty quiet on track. This year he's hoping to do a little better, as he's battling with Julian Kenneblaise Jr., one of the fastest cars of the race. David Yankee is running underneath him in that unsponsored number 07, trying to prove his worth for potential sponsor options. Michael Aurelio is running away with it, like he was hoping for. Oh wait, no, Dom Capps, car number 24, is up in the race lead. So you can tell this number 24 car is really good, as he's pulling ahead of Michael Aurelio. And just think, Dom Capps, the previous round, was very sluggish at the start. They made some adjustments, and now this is a really fast car, as he's trying to make sure he does not get eliminated by the on-charging Michael Aurelio, who's basically using this as a speed trial. Now, 7 cars is a lot on track, but they seem to be running single file right now. This doesn't seem to be too much competition on the track. The closest they're running is these 2 here, of Dunlap and Yankee. If everything stays cool, we could have 8 cars, which is going to be absolutely insane. The thought of 6 cars is sometimes scary for these drivers. Imagine 8 on track at once. But hey, that's how this rumble works. If no one eliminates, they pile up until elimination happens. As Adam Dunlap still stays in the match. Now, he and Kenneblaise have been in this the longest. They came out in rounds pretty close to each other at the beginning of this part. But Dunlap hoping to do well for the Brote Dunlap team, as Brian Brote is out. He's also trying to prove that Toyotas can run very well today, as well as we head to the end of this round, round 42, and we are going to head to a commercial break. And we'll be back for our 4th and final part of the Royal Rumble. We hope to see you there, and then after that we'll get the actual season rolling. See you later. There's still several cars to go.